Hello everyone, my name's Katrina and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my 5-star read predictions. I've been wanting to do this video for a little while now, ever since I saw Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings post this video, and the basic idea for this is that I go through my to be read pile and pick out some books that I predict I will rate 5 stars after reading it. And this proved to be an interesting experiment because it was a little harder than I expected. There were some books I didn't think I would necessarily rate 5 out of 5 stars, and some that had the potential to maybe be 5-star reads, but I wasn't really confident in that. So it was interesting trying to find some books that I was more confident that I would rate 5 out of 5 stars. And just because I'm confident in this doesn't mean that these are actually going to end up being 5-star reads for me. I could be completely wrong, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what I actually rate these books, so I will post a follow-up video after I have read these books, and I'll let you know if my predictions were correct. Today I will be talking about 5 books that I predict I will rate 5 out of 5 stars. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a fantasy duology, and I believe that this is mainly set in a city inspired by Amsterdam, if I remember correctly. We have Kaz Brekker, who is a criminal prodigy and is given the opportunity to pull off this deadly heist. If he succeeds, he will become incredibly rich, his wildest dreams will come true, but he can't pull it off alone, and the other members of his crew include a convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heartrender using her magic to survive the slums, and a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. I recently read the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, and I went into that series not expecting to be blown away by it. Based on the reviews that I'd heard, I knew some of the issues that people had with it, and they sounded like things that I would also take a little issue with or not like as much, and that proved to be the case. For the most part, I did enjoy the Grisha trilogy, but there were some things I did not like as much, namely Mal. But in the case of this duology, I've heard so much praise. It is an incredibly hyped book, and to be honest, I do think that in my eyes, this book will live up to the hype. Just the idea of a heist sounds so appealing, having this ragtag crew, and I've just heard so many amazing things about the series. So I predict that I will love it. Let's see if I actually do. The Passage by Justin Cronin. This is one that I don't really know how to explain because I think it's a pretty epic story. I think there's a lot of characters that we meet, and it potentially spans decades, so I feel like there's going to be a lot going on in the book, and I don't even know where to start in terms of describing it. From what I can gather though, we primarily follow these two characters, an FBI agent and a 6-year-old orphan who are fleeing and trying to find sanctuary after something happens to the world. It's post-apocalyptic. That's about all I know, to be quite honest. This is one of my best friend's favourite series and she keeps pushing me to read it. And I also had the chance to see Justin Cronin when he was over in Australia last year, the year before. I don't know, time just blurs all together nowadays. I was able to see him and meet him and hear him talking about the series, and it just got me so intrigued. I'm really excited to pick this one up. I think I'm going to love it just based off of my friend's recommendations and the way she talks about the book. It's a nice chunky book as well though, so I'm really excited to spend a lot of time with this story, and hopefully it completely sucks me in. The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. In this book we follow Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo, and she's finally ready to tell the truth about her very glamorous and scandalous life. She's talking to a reporter about the things that have happened in her life, the 7 husbands that she's had. I think there may also be a female-female romance in here, if I remember correctly, which I'm really looking forward to seeing as well. I just really like the idea of someone telling their life story and unveiling a whole bunch of secrets about themselves. I like the idea of having an unreliable narrator as well, because obviously telling your life story, you're going to exaggerate some things, miss out a few details here and there, and increasingly I've been hearing more and more people online talking about this book and raving about it, so again, this one's probably going to live up to the hype for me. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. In this one we follow Richard, who stumbles across a mysterious girl who is bleeding on the pavement. She is on the run from assassins. Her name is Dor, and I think after helping Dor, Richard kind of stumbles into this underworld of London where there's monsters and angels and beasts and labyrinths, and it sounds just grand. Plus it is Neil Gaiman, and plus the same best friend that loved The Passage has also loved Neverwhere. I've really enjoyed all of the books I've read by Neil Gaiman before. I love his writing style and his creativity, imagination, descriptions. It's just all so appealing and so rich and atmospheric. And quite a few of my friends have also said that this is their favourite Neil Gaiman book, so that has set the bar pretty high. And I'm excited to read it. The Power by Naomi Alderman. In this book, women all over the world are discovering that they have the power. Whatever this power may be. But this power means that they can inflict pain, perhaps even death. So the power dynamic between men and women kind of shifts, you know? Men are losing the control that they've held in society for centuries. I, again, have heard so many incredible things about this book online, and I think this is going to be a really fascinating discussion on sexism and gender hierarchies and what having power means and the consequences of one's actions and things like that. It sounds like a really timely and thought-provoking book. This has just been recommended to me many, many times. I've seen it reviewed in so many videos, and it absolutely sounds like a book that I will enjoy. So I predict that I'll rate this 5 out of 5 stars. So these are the 5 books that I think I will rate 5 out of 5 stars. I'm really looking forward to reading these and getting back to you with my thoughts and seeing if my predictions were correct or if they were way off base. I hope, because these sound like really interesting stories and I want to enjoy them. So I better get to reading these and I'll get back to you on my thoughts at an undisclosed time in the future. Who knows when I'll get around to reading all of these and filming a wrap-up video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear down in the comment section below a couple of books that you have not yet read but you think you would rate highly, or if you have had any 5-star read predictions that weren't met. I'd be really curious to hear about what those were. Let me know down below. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video, but until then I will talk to you in the comments. Bye!